Yo, welcome to my channel. Today we'll be going over the best Season 2 settings for Rogue Company. If you're new around here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and consider liking this video. But with all that being said, let's get straight into the video. Okay, now going over my display settings. I keep my game on full screen. I have my game set to 1920 by 1080 because that's the resolution of my monitor. I keep VSync off, motion blur and ADS blur all off. I keep my brightness at 50 and I use the Trident Nope colorblind mode. But I also use the NVIDIA control panel to make my game look more colorful and vibrant, so I'm going to go over there and show you my settings on the control panel. Okay, now going over my control panel settings. These are my control panel settings. I keep my brightness on here on 52, my contrast on 60%, and my gamma on a 1.04. Digital vibrance is what makes my game look all colorful, and I keep that on 85%. You can keep that on anything from like 70 to 90, but I would not recommend going to 100 unless you want your game to look really, really orange. Okay, now going down here to my qualities. I keep my view distance on ultra so I can see enemies and gadgets from far away. I keep my shadows on low to help with my performance. I keep anti-aliasing on medium so it helps with the graphics whenever I stream and make videos. I keep my anti-aliasing on medium, my textures and post-processing on medium, because it helps your game look good, but it doesn't hurt your performance at all. Like, you can put these on high too if you want your game to look a little better, but I would not recommend putting on ultra. The highest I would go is high with these. You can also put it on low if you don't care what your game looks like, the texture-wise. But I put these on medium since I stream and make videos, and I want it to look better for you guys. But for visual and foliage, I put on low because it helps with performance. If you have these any higher, it'll hurt your performance a lot. Okay, now going over my audio. My master volume, I keep it 85. I have music off because the music in this game is copyright, and the music kind of sucks. I keep sound effect volume at 85. The reason I keep them at 85 is because if they're any higher, it's just too loud, it hurts my ears. You can also put sound effects volume higher than your master volume so you can hear the gadgets and stuff more. I keep them the same so I can hear them the exact same. And my voice chat volume, it depends on how loud my teammates' mics are, or if they're being like idiots or whatever. I can turn this up and down. I have voice chat on. I have this on voice chat only, and I push to talk on because my mic sucks and it just echoes a lot. And also so I can talk to stream without them hearing it. I have never tried 3D headphones, but I've been told that it sucks. I was planning on trying these for like a stream one day, but I have not used these yet. Now going over the controls. I have hold the crouch off so I could just tap it with C. I have hold the sprint on so I can hold shift for wherever I want to run. I have auto sprint off. I have never used auto shoulder swap because it's a new feature, but I'm going to give it a try. But I'm going to try today. If it works out right, I will put it in the comments if I'm using it. But if you don't see that there's a comment down there saying I'm using it, I probably didn't like it. Okay, for my mouse sensitivity. I keep my mouse sensitivity at 2.8. My targeting sensitivity at a 48, and my scope sensitivity at a 34. For my mouse sensitivity, I never change this. My targeting sensitivity, I'll change like from 47 to 48, depending on how good I'm feeling. Usually I'll warm up on 47, like in the shooting range, and like play my first game of the day on 47. Then I'll put it up to 48, so everything's real snappy and I'm doing good. I would always recommend what's called warming up on what's called one lower than what's called your actual one is. For my scope sensitivity, I change this all the time because I suck at sniping. It's usually from like 34 to like 37 around here. That's usually where my sweet spots are. It also depends on how I'm feeling that day, because your aim depends on how you're feeling. ADS mode I have on hold. Y-axis I have off, and I don't use controller or the geoscope, so I don't have any settings for those. Okay, for my bindings. For my map, I press M. For my store, I press B. Scoreboards tab. Push to talk is T. My ping is X. My emote wheel is Z. My quips are my middle mouse button, and my team comms are Y. So I have WSAD as my regular movement. Base bar is jump. Sprint is shift, as I said earlier. My crouch is C, so I can just hit that with my thumb. I use mouse 4 as my dodge roll. because I don't really like using the control button that is set to on default. Okay, I got mouse 1 and 2 as my aim and fire like normal. I have my interact as F, I'm pretty sure that's default. R for reload, that's default. I put my gadget as mouse 5. I think at default it's G, but I don't like using G since I have my thumb curled, so I can sit there and just press C, what's called the crouch. So I don't have to move my thumb over to G. So I just put it on mouse 5 because I wasn't using it. And it's easier for me to stick people if I'm using like Lancer or anybody. It's easier for me to get grenades off, like if I'm trying to use a bounce nade or anything. Toggle shoulder I have on E. I have my ability on Q. I have swap gadgets on 5. I have swap weapons 1, 2, but I usually use scroll wheel depending on what I'm doing. But lately I've been using trying to get good at using 1 and 2 instead of my scroll wheel because sometimes I'll over scroll. I use 3 as my melee weapon. I always hit 3 instead of what's called using the scroll wheel because it's way easier. That's what it is in every other game. Swap the bomb is 4. And as I said, I use mouse wheels sometimes to scroll up and down. And I use V as my melee. Okay, now going over gameplay. I keep quick cast and auto pickup on, as everyone should. Quick cast on is usually better for keyboard mouse players, I've been told, than what's called controller players. Controller players like to have this off so they can hold their nade. You should always have auto pickup on just in case you run over stuff and you can pick up grenades and stuff so you don't have to sit there and press what's called your pickup button on them. I have my I have my language on English, my bad. I have double press time to 0.15. I always have this on the lowest. I have my quips and comms both on. I have display damage number and accumulate display both on. I have my FPS on so I don't focus on it because some of these maps you get really low FPS and it bothers me. So I just have this off for a mental thing so I don't sit there and just keep looking at it and get mad at it. And I keep my crosshair on green because green's the easiest color for the human eye to see. But you can change it to whatever. I was using yellow for a while. Like white's default. Some people use red. But I use green since it's the easiest color for the human eye to see. And for my socials, I play on NA East and I have Do Not Disturb off, but that doesn't really matter. Well, that's the end of this video. That's all my settings. If you have any questions about any of my settings, let me know in the comments and I'll answer any questions you have about this video. But if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button. And if you enjoyed this kind of content, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. But until next time, it's been Rabbit, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.